Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I got started a few minutes late because I was cooking myself some breakfast. I decided to make something because I didn't have time to go to the cafe this morning, and I've got a few things on the screen to change. Isaac Paredes is at the plate. Altuve just grounded into a fielder's choice, so Pena was out at second, but Pena started off with a single. Altuve is on first with one out. Here comes the pitch. That's right in there. Strike one to Isaac Paredes. I've got a few things to update on the screen. You'll see that the pitchers are wrong, and the scoreboard is wrong. But I'll get that fixed in just a moment. Here comes a pitch. Woo, that barely misses on the edge. 1 ball and 1 strike to Paredes. Altuve on first base with 1 out. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Paredes. Too far inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Next pitch on the way in just a moment. 2-1 is the count, and here it comes. Grounded foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trying to get my scoreboard set up. It took so long to cook. This is one of the reasons why I don't like cooking. This one's hit hard out to right field. It might drop. No, the second baseman is able to get it. Altuve's back to first base. That was not a bad catch by the second baseman. Got all some yummy food sitting here. Bacon. That brings up Christian Walker. 2 outs. Altuve still on first base. Here's the first pitch to Walker. Just a little high. Good take. Ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Ooh, that was at the top of the zone. Looked like it could have been a strike, but the umpire laid off. Ball 2. That was close. Okay, where's my scoreboard? Where's my scoreboard? There's my scoreboard. Here's the next pitch. That's in there. 94 mile per hour pitch for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Walker. Fouled off. Strike 2. 2-2. Counts even. Oop. I appreciate you guys being here. Right now, I don't think we have anybody joining on the game. According to my live stream. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to be it. So despite the leadoff single by Jeremy Pena, nothing comes of it. They strand the runner on first. We will go into the bottom of the first. 1 hit for the Astros, no runs, 0-0. Brewers will be up to bat in just a moment. I'll continue updating the information on the screen to get it right. And try to enjoy my sausage, eggs, and bacon. And make myself some coffee. You guys bear with me. Go Astros. Ronel Blanco is on the mound for the Astros, getting ready to toss out his first pitch after warming up. Let me get this information on the screen updated. No outs, no balls, no strikes. Bottom of the first. Here comes the first pitch from Blanco. Swing and a foul ball. Strike one. Jackson Chorio is at the plate. 5 people following along right now. Thank you for being here. Here comes the next pitch from Blanco. Ooh, that's right in there. 94-mile-per-hour fastball. 0-2 is the count. Blanco starting off with 2 pitches in the zone. Man, I need some coffee. It's on the way, my friend. Swing and taps to second. It's going to have to be a quick play. He fires over and gets it. Nice. Good play by Dubon, who's on second base. Here's a little replay there. Whoops. Sorry about that. I turned it off a little too early. But Dubon had to charge in really quickly, basically, and grab it and fire it over to first. One away. Isaac Collins is the second batter. The first pitch is a 92-mile-per-hour fastball, a little high, ball 1. Here's the pitch. Right on the outside edge, just barely misses, maybe by an inch, ball 2. Here comes the 2-0 pitch from Blanco. That's hit into right field. It looks like it's going to be down. It does. It bounces once. Cam Smith grabs it, fires it in. That's a 1-out single by Isaac Collins. Runner on first base. And that brings up William Contreras. I'll get to the Astros lineup and their fielders in just a second. First pitch to Collins is a swing and a miss. Good pitch by Blanco. 83-mile-per-hour slider. 0-1 is the count. Here's the next pitch to Contreras. Blanco puts that one a little low and away for ball 1. Not quite able to catch that corner. Finally pouring myself some coffee. Whew. Can't wait to get some coffee. Get it in me. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Just inside. Barely inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Runner on first with 1 out. In the bottom of the foist. Here comes the pitch. That's tapped foul at the plate. An 84-mile-an-hour slider. 84-mile-an-hour slider. Counts even, 2-2. Anybody in the chat yet? Let's see. Not yet. Just a couple of people watching. Not so many people interested in this late game. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Blanco. In the dirt and low. Outside. Ball 3. We've got ourselves a full up. Got ourselves a full up. Here comes the dozenth pitch. Runner is off. Swing and a miss. They go to second. Do they get him? They say he's out. Double play, guys. Strikeout by Blanco. And a throw out by Yainer Diaz. Heck yes. What a way to end the bottom of the first, rather. What a good play. We don't get the replay? We don't get the replay? That was very sad. I wanted to show that to you guys. A strikeout on the full count by Blanco, and then a throw him out at second base by Diaz. Heck yes. That makes it a 3 up and 3 down. We go into the top of the second. Each team with one hit, one single. All goose eggs so far. Now let's get to the Astros lineup right quick. In just a moment, Diaz will be at the plate to bat. He is catching today, followed by Zach DeCenzo, who is in left field, Jake Myers in center field, Cam Smith in right field, and then Dubon batting in the ninth slot, playing second base. Of course, the leadoff batter these days is Jeremy Pena, playing shortstop. Altuve is in left field today. Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Let me take another look at that. He's the DH. He's not in left field because DeCenzo's in left field. So Altuve is DHing. Paredes is batting third at third base, and Walker is batting fourth at first base. Diaz will be up at the plate in just a moment. We'll see if he can get things started with a nice hit. Maybe the Astros can get something done here in the second inning. Get some runs early on these Brewers. These eggs that I made are really good. I just saw some information about Yainer Diaz. The last 7 games, he's really turned it on. 9 RBIs, 400 batting average. That's what I like to see. Can you imagine if he had started the season off like this? Holy cow. Diaz is at the plate. Here comes the first pitch from Tobias Myers. Right in the top of the zone. Could have gone either way. Strike one. 93 mile per hour fast-hum ball. Here comes a 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, low and outside on the cutter. And it's 0-2. Daniel Barry Sports says, yo, and yo, back to you. The Lion, hey, long time no see. Good to have you back. Yo to you too. Let's go, Astros Houston. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. That next ball is in the dirt for ball 1. 1-2 is the count against Yainer Diaz. 1-2 pitch coming in just a moment. There's the delivery. Low, just below the zone, but fouled away by Diaz. Count remains 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's another 1-2 pitch for you. On the way. Wow. Wow. I tried to say man and wow at the same time. It came out as wow. High and outside, fouled off by Diaz. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Fouled off again. Another 87 mile per hour slider up and out. I've got like 5 strips of bacon, 4 sausage links, and 3 scrambled eggs here. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off again. Man, Yainer's really making Myers work. Tobias Myers about to deliver his 21st pitch of the game. And he doesn't even have an out yet here in the second inning. Yainer Diaz trying to make sure he doesn't get one. Here comes the 1-2. Ripped down the third baseline. Foul ball. Look at this guy. He tried to get that foul ball and he lost his balance and the whole crowd went, ooh! That was funny. We have another 1-2 pitch coming up. This is hit out to right field, and it looks like it's going to be caught. And it is. Opposite field fly out by Yiner, or a line out, if you want to call it. It was a liner. Yiner with a liner. One away. DeCenzo at the plate. Here's the first pitch. Little low, ball one. One ball turns to two balls. Low and away, 2-0. Here's the next pitch. Way high, ball three. Good at bat for DeCenzo. 3-0 count. Here comes the delivery from Myers. He catches the lower inside corner on that pitch for strike one. 3-1. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That one's a little inside. DeCenzo hits it way up in the air. It looks playable by the second baseman. He's got it, and that's out number 2. So DeCenzo flies out. Could have let that one go, I think, for ball 4. But oh well. 2 away. And the big man Jake Myers comes to the plate with his .303 batting average. He has been on fire recently. Here comes the first pitch. Low, just below the zone, swing and a miss on that 85-mile-an-hour slider. He calls timeout. Wants to gather himself a little bit, a wee bit. Twenty-ninth pitch of the game for Myers. Myers to Myers. Tobias Myers to Jake Myers. Myers hits it out into right field, and he lines out to the right fielder just like Yiner did. So that's the third out. Nothing doing for the Stros in this inning. Just a few fly balls. So 1 hit for each team, no runs. We go into the bottom of the second inning. Brewers will be back up to face Renel Blanco in just a moment. Thank you for watching wherever you are. I appreciate you joining me. I have got my breakfast still in front of me with my coffee. I'm going to try to finish it during the break. Go Stros! Don't mind me, everyone, while I'm eating my breakfast. Currently on a commercial break. Mostly quiet game so far. No drama. They're showing some highlights of Mike Trout hits a home run, and they put the what appears to be the fire department helmet on his head. I'm glad that the Astros don't do ridiculous stuff like that. They're one of the only teams that don't, and I'm very happy about that. Blanco's back on the mound. He's facing Christian Yelich. First pitch is in there for strike one. Here comes the next delivery. 81 miles an hour right in there, fouled back, strike two. Ahead in the count. Here's the pitch. Fouled off at the plate on that curve ball. Oh and 2, the count remains. Here's the next pitch to Yelich. Fouled off again, count still 0 and 2. Here comes the 0-2 delivery. Way high. Fastball missing by a substantial sum. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off again and up and out of play. Count remains 1 and 2. Yelich calls a timeout, steps out of the box for a moment. Now he's back in, we're ready to go. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Blanco. Low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Will Blanco get the strikeout here? Let's see. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. This one's hit hard to left field. Should be playable. DeCenzo's in, and he makes a sliding catch. Heck yes. He held up for a second, and then he had to come in quickly, but he got it for out number 1. That brings up Rhys Hoskins. Is that how you say his name? Rhys? Or Reese? Reese? Your guess is as good as mine. First pitch to him is a little low and outside for ball 1. Reese is what they're saying his name is. Spelt strange, R-H-Y-S. That pitch is in there to even the count, 1 and 1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on that curve ball. Doesn't even touch it. 1 and 2. Blanco is out to the lead in the count. One away, nobody on. One-two pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Blanco picks up his first strikeout of the game, and that's 2 away. Rhys Hoskins goes strikins. Rhys strikins. Whoop. Two away. Jake Bauers is at the plate, left-handed batter. He shows bunt. He goes down to the third base side, no play. He laid it down on the left side. There was nobody over there. Paredes came in to grab it, but Bauers clearly paid attention to how deep they were playing, and he did the opposite field bunt. Worked out in his favor, so the Brewers have their second hit and a guy on first base with 2 outs. Caleb Durbin comes to the plate. First pitch to him. Holy cow! How could that not be a strike? It was right in there. Literally right in the middle of the plate. Called a ball. Don't understand. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? They say he did not, but that was still in the outside corner. Another strike called for a ball. Not quite sure what the umpire's doing here because 2 balls completely in the zone. You can see that last pitch was on the edge, but the one before that was right in there. That's definitely outside for a ball 3. 3 straight balls from Ronel Blanco, but 2 of those should have been strikes. This umpire is giving the pitches to the Brewers. 29th pitch of the game coming up for Blanco. It's 3-0 with a runner on first and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. High, ball 4. Yainer Diaz is going to come out and have a little discussion with Ronel. 2 runners on and 2 outs. Vinny Capra is the next batter. I hope all you good people that are listening out there, wherever you are enjoying yourselves today. Hope you and your happy families are happy. Your happy families are happy. I hope everyone's healthy. I hope everyone's feeling good today. I hope in this moment right now, you just feel happy and everything is all right in the world. Because it really is. It really is. Vinny Capra's batting .065. I guess he hasn't had many at-bats. But here's the 30th pitch from Blanco and the first pitch to Capra. Strike 1 on the outside edge. Here comes the pitch. This is grounded to Pena. Pena fires over to first base, gets the play. Now number 3. So a little bit of trouble for Blanco, primarily because of the umpire. A bunt hit and then some terrible calls by the umpire led to a couple of base runners, but Blanco gets out of it, thankfully. So despite the help for the Brewers, the Astros get out of it and go to the top of the 3rd. This game is still scoreless. 2 hits for the Brewers, 1 hit for the Astros. Goose eggs still. Mel says, how goes the move to the new place? Mel, thank you so much for asking. I really appreciate that. I would say that it's going really well. My friend, his name is Fadil. Fadil is from Indonesia. He's a very young guy that I met when I was studying at the Japanese language school. And he just kind of became like a, in some ways, kind of like a little brother to me. But, or maybe, I wouldn't say necessarily like a son. I guess you could say it's more like a son because of age difference. I guess he is more like a son. But he's an interesting and fun guy. And he speaks not only English, Indonesian, and Japanese, but he also speaks French. He lived in France for a while, so he's amazingly open-minded for his age. It's very interesting to chat with him. And he had a free time. He had some free time to help me out because there's a holiday in Japan right now. So all day Sunday and all day yesterday, he helped me take all of the big things out of this house here and take them to my old house. This house here in Onomichi, Hiroshima, I've been renting it. It's very near the language school. But since I'm finished with school, I am now moving to the house that I bought, the old house that I bought in East Hiroshima. That house is about maybe an hour from Hiroshima City, driving. Luckily I have a car, so I can drive there if I need to. Here's the pitch. Who's up to bat? It's Cam Smith. He goes all the way out to the track. Man, just a few feet shy of the wall. Very first pitch, he drives it deep. Nice ride. Just a little short. Out number 1. Man. But anyway, I will say this. I was given many items. I can take anything I want from this house that isn't attached. That's what the landlord told me. So I was able to get a dining room, table, 4 chairs, a TV. Dubon takes the first pitch for a strike. I got a 42-inch Toshiba TV. I got the dining room table, the chairs, microwave, rice cooker. That next pitch is right in there. Strike 2 on Dubon. No balls and 2 strikes to Dubon. But I got a bunch of other stuff. You know, some furniture, some chairs, some tables, desks. And just a bunch of useful stuff. Strike 3. Dubon goes down swinging. 2 away, just like that. That's going to bring up Jeremy Pena. Top of the batting order is back up. So, Mel, overall, he really helped me out a lot because all those items I can't carry by myself, and some of those, I just, because of my anemia, I don't have the ability to easily take out to the van. Low and outside to Pena, ball 1. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss on that 94-mile-per-hour fastball. Pena not able to catch up to it. Count is even. Pena takes a timeout, steps out of the box. One and one is the count with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Pena grounds it harmlessly down the third base side. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Pena hits that high in the air. Is it going to be playable? Looks like it is. Yes, it is. Bowers takes it in for out number 3, and that's it for the Astros in the top of the third. Still nothing doing for the Astros at the plate. Just one hit and a fielder's choice. We go to the bottom of the third. Whoops, I just realized I had the bottom of the third already on the screen. My bad. That is my bad. Tobias Myers will lead off the batting for the Brewers in just a moment. Oh, I'm sorry. Tobias Myers is the pitcher for the Brewers. I just glanced at the screen. I was looking at the wrong information. I was like, wait a second, that's not right. He's the pitcher. Joey Ortiz, that is. He'll be batting, followed by Jackson Chourio. Chourio, the leadoff batter for the Brewers. And then Isaac Collins. Will Bite says, like for the algo. Yes, please. Please leave a like on this live stream. These days, because it's early in the season, my minimal like count request is 10. We are already there. We're at 11. Thank you very much. My ideal minimal is 20. I've gotten that a few times now. My dream count is 30, and I've gotten that twice now. So I'm really happy about that. It's amazing to think about, but we still have several more months of baseball to go. May, June, July, August, September, and October, guys. We have almost 6 months of baseball left. This early in the year, I don't get too many views. And also, depending on the team and the time of day, and whether it's a weekday or a weekend, etc., the number of viewers I get fluctuates. It is discouraging sometimes, especially when I get up at like 3 in the morning to do a game, and I have almost nobody viewing. It's difficult to keep going under those circumstances, but I'm doing it. First pitch to Ortiz is right in there for strike 1. Next pitch from Blanco's on the way, and that's hit to left field. Is it going to drop? Oh no, he can't get it. DeCenzo dives for it. Ortiz is going to go for 2, and he's in there with a double. Nice effort by DeCenzo, but he just couldn't get there. Runner on second with a leadoff double here in the bottom of the third for the Brewers. They are having a little conversation with Lance McCullers right now, so I'm going to mute that just so I can pay better attention to this game. They're just chatting about all sorts of stuff. Chourio comes to the plate. He had to change his bat for some reason. I guess he had too much pine tar on it. Good eggs. Here's the first pitch to Chourio. He hits that really high out into left field. DeCenzo's under it. He makes the catch. He fires it in. The runner tags, but he goes back. Good throw by DeCenzo to keep the runner on second base. Excellent, said the chicken. One away. That's right, buddy. You stay right there on second base. You ain't going nowhere, boy. What do you think's funny, boy? What are you laughing at, boy? You stay on second. Blanco is now facing Collins. First pitch is fouled off for strike one, an 87-mile-an-hour slider. Good pitch. Yeah, they're still talking with McCullers. I guess they're going to talk with him the whole inning. Fouled away by Collins. 0-2 is the count. I'd like to show you a few of these pitches, but they keep showing the video of McCullers. One out, runner on second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. In just a moment from Blanco. He keeps shaking, calls off. He finally has what he wants. Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss. Heck yes. Strike out number 2 for Blanco. And 2 away. I really want to see Blanco have a good solid game. 6 innings at least. He really needs it for his confidence and for the Astros' confidence. And for fans like me. This is hit into left field. That's going to get down as a base hit. Probably going to score a run, and it does. The very first pitch of the at-bat by William Contreras. He snags it out into left field. And that was a no-doubter. That was going to be down. That was definitely a hit. Runner didn't have to hold up at second and see if it was going to be caught or not. He booked it around and scored. 1-0 Brewers. Runner on first. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot me. That pitch is high, 93 miles an hour. Christian Yelich is at the plate. As you can see, they're still talking to McCullers right now. Here's the next pitch to Yelich. That one is a strike in the top of the zone. 1-1 is the count. Astros now down 1-0. Apparently the Astros need like 10 or 12 runs to win games. 4 is not enough. Swing and a miss. Good curveball by Blanco. Low and inside, but it started outside. That was a beautiful pitch. We're not going to get a replay of it, though, because they're talking with McCullers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch to Yelich. Grounded down the first base side, foul. Just like a duck, that is foul. Here's the next pitch, another 1-2. Low. Ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Blanco comes set. Here's the lob. This is hit hard to right field, all the way out to right center. It might be gone, and it is. That's a 2-run shot. Brewers up 3-0. All right, well, Blanco kind of falls apart this inning. That's unfortunate. 3-0 now. The good news is no more runners on base. The bad news is they were just cleared off with a 2-run home run. 3-0 Brewers. This is what happens when you talk to McCullers all the way through the inning instead of forcing or focusing on the game, rather. First pitch to the next batter is in there for a strike. Reese Hopkins is at the plate. Next pitch is on the way. Low and outside. Swing and a miss by Reese. Strike 2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Grounded down to the third base side. Paredes hands just grabs it by hand. The pitch, or rather the throw, I guess you could kind of call it a pitch. It looked like he pitched it over to first base. He tossed it over there. Wasn't able to get it there in time. I think that's going to be an infield hit. Good effort by Paredes, but he just can't get it there. Walker had to come off the bag. It's going to be another base runner. 2-out base runner. Pretty sad to get that on an 0-2 pitch. Diaz and Blanco have a little mini meeting on the mound. Now Blanco's getting ready to go for this next pitch. 48 pitches for Blanco with this next delivery. And the first one of this at bat to Jake Bowers. Here's the pitch. This is hit to left field. DeCenzo goes back, should grab it easily, and he does. Out number 3, but the Astros are now down 3-0. Couple of runs given up here by Blanco. 6 hits now for the Brewers. 4 in that inning alone. 3 runs. I need to muscle down the rest of this food. It's taking so long to eat. In between the innings is not much time. 11 likes on live stream. 9 more to go to get to that main target. Appreciate you guys helping me out there. I'll move my microphone up while I'm finishing off this bacon and sausage. Top of the 4th. Astros already down 3-0. Poor Blanco. Whew. Oh man, Saturday they're giving out Jose Altuve bubble gum bobbleheads. If anyone goes to the game and gets one of those bobbleheads, please send it to me in Hiroshima. I'll love you forever and a day. Speaking of Jose Altuve, my hero, he is batting DH today in the 2nd slot. He takes that first pitch for strike 1. Here's the next pitch. That's in there for strike 2. Come on, Altuve. We need you, man. We are down 3-0. 40th pitch for Tobias Myers coming up in just a moment. The count's 0-2 to my hero. Here's the pitch. Grounded foul by Altuve. Oh, and Altuve. Little bit of a delay, but looks like Myers is ready to pitch, and here comes the delivery. Altuve hits that one up the middle. It almost bounces off the pitcher. Second baseman is there, though, and fires over to first to get the out. Not quite as hard as it could have been. I was about to say he dodged a bullet, but it wasn't hit as hard as it appeared to be at first. Out number 1, Paredes comes to the plate. Astros still with just 1 hit today. Little low and outside. Good take by Paredes. Ball 1. Half a dozen people following along. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. Here's the pitch. Wow, that's ripped out into left field rather. But just foul by a few feet. He ripped that one. Just too early. 1 ball, 1 strike. One out, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch to Paredes. Takes that one high for ball 2. 2-1. Here's the pitch. That one's hit into left center field. That's going to be down for a hit. Nice soft liner right over the shortstop's head. Good little tappy by Paredes. Now we have ourselves a base runner with 1 out. That brings up Christian Walker, 0-for-1 today. Here's the first pitch. He hits this one high in the air. It looks like it's going to be a fly out. He looked disappointed as soon as he hit it. Right to the center fielder. Out number 2. Paredes remains at first base. Walker continues his struggles. His batting average had finally gotten up to over 200, and now it has gone back down. Back down to 197. Yainer Diaz comes to the plate. Diaz has been hot the past 7 games. Here comes the first pitch to him. Right in the bottom of the zone, just taken all the way for strike 1. Man. Yainer with a liner last at bat, so he's 0-for-1 today. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. This one's grounded to the shortstop. It looks like he's going to toss to second and get the 3rd out. And that's it for the Astros in the top of the 4th. Once again, they go down quietly. Nothing doing, just 1 hit for the Astros. 2 hits for the entire game so far through the first 4 innings. They are down 3-0 to the Brewers. I don't even know what the Brewers' record is right now. I want to take a look at it. (17-18). So their record is a little worse than the Astros. The Astros are 17-16, so currently they actually have a winning record. But the Brewers are just a little below 500. So not stellar. They seem to be kind of a shadow of their former selves. Pardon me, guys. I apologize for that. I had to sneeze. Daddy needs some more coffee. All right. Should be getting ready for the start of the bottom of the fourth. And as we get ready for that, I'm going to pour myself another cup of coffee. Come on, show the game. They're showing Mother's Day stuff. That's all fine and dandy, but I want to see the game. The baseball game, the reason why we're here. Ronel Blanco's first pitch to Caleb Durbin, and that, Sir Durbin, is a strike, a 78 mile an hour curveball. Here comes the next pitch. Grounded to Jeremy Pena, who backhands it, throws it over to first. Out number one, makes it look easy peasy. One away. That's the kind of at bat I like to see. Just a couple of pitches, a strike and a ground out. Let's be efficient and shut them down. $50 pitches now for Blanco. The 51st is coming to Vinny Capra. Woo, right on the outside edge. Good pitch by Blanco. I'm surprised the umpire called that, considering the ones that he did not call earlier. Capra is 0 for 1 today with a ground out. He fouls this one off, 80 miles an hour in the top of the zone. Oh, and 2 is the count. Shoot, I see your comment. I'll get to it in just a second. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. This one's grounded to third. It's going to be a difficult play by Paredes. He fires to first. He's got it. Good job. Heck yes. 2 up and 2 down. 2 ground outs. So a strike and a ground out. 2 strikes and a ground out. Maybe the next batter will be 3 strikes. Minus the ground out. Schutz says Blanco needs to go to the bullpen when Spencer comes back. He'll put Gusto in over Blanco. Well, Gusto has some improvement to do too. I think they both do. Gusto and Blanco both. They need to really buckle down. Ortiz fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. 2 more strikes is what we need. That one's in the dirt low and away. So unfortunately Blanco throws a ball. He doesn't get his 3 strikes like I wanted. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs to Ortiz. Here comes the pitch. Just a little low and outside. Two balls and 1 strike. Here comes the next toss. That is in there for strike 2. 85 miles an hour. Couldn't have been more perfect. Maybe it could have been. But it was quite good. Here comes the next pitch. This one's hit up the middle. Looks like it. Oh, did you see that catch by Dubon? I was about to say, it looks like it might get down, but Dubon made the leaping grab. Heck yes. Good job by Dubon. Man, he like snow coned that. Look at this. Boom. Dubon, boing. Jumping up there like Mario Brothers. Super Mario snag right there. Good job, Dubon. He ends the inning. 3 up and 3 down. Finally, a good comeback by Blanco. An excellent defensive play by Dubon. We go to the top of the 5th, guys. We are basically almost halfway through this game. Coming up in just a moment for the Astros, Zach DeCenzo, who is 0 for 1 today, followed by Mr. Baseball, Jake Myers, and Cam Smith. Cam Smith actually drove one all the way out right by the wall, just a couple of feet from the wall, threatening to get some big hits today. Oh, I'm sitting here. I've got my coffee bag in the coffee cup, a pour-over coffee bag, but I haven't poured any hot water in it. Sitting here like it's going to make itself. You can't take your eyes off the screen for very long. As soon as you do, the game just flies by. Alrighty. Wow, still sitting at just 11 likes, but I'm kind of not surprised. Only 8 people watching. It's not a very high view count game today. Not as many people interested in this game, primarily Astros fans, I think. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there are several reasons why I started this channel. I'll get to that in just a moment. DeCenzo hits this ball out into right field. Looks like it's going to be another fly out, and it is. First pitch, 1 away. Right now, Jake Myers' OPS is higher than Aaron Judge. He's number 2. Highest road OPS, 1.127. That's insane. Jake Myers. He is at the plate right now. First pitch is on the way. High and inside for ball 1. Good take. Good old Jake Myers. Am I going to have to get a Jake Myers jersey? Well, depending on how he finishes out this season, I just might do that. Here's the next pitch. Ooh, that one barely caught the lower outside corner for strike 1. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch to Myers. That one's outside for ball 2. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. This one's hit hard to left field. Is it going to get out there? It's all the way to the warning track. No, it's close. It's so close, man. Myers almost does it again. Man, his launch angle was just too high. Man, the power was there. He just hit it a little too high. Myers almost goes launch mode again. Holy cow. Out number 2. Cam Smith comes to the plate. The first pitch to him is on the way. Just a little inside. Strike 1. Calls the ump. Could have gone either way, but it looked like a ball. Deep fly out for Cam Smith, his last at bat. Here's the next pitch. Kind of a check swing. He accidentally fouls it all for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tobias Myers on the mound, delivering his 56th pitch of the game to Cam Smith. Here it comes. Just a little outside. Good take by Cam. 1 ball, 2 strikes. DeLion says Dubon has been crazy good defensively. Makes Rogers' Gold Glove look bronze. Rogers has a better bat, though. Yeah, well, Rogers' bat's also just very mediocre right now. He hasn't been doing good. I would say that Dubon's bat versus Rogers' bat is basically the same currently. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count remains. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Smith. He hits that one out into right field. It looks like it's going to be out of play, and it is. It bounces just foul right into the net. We'll have ourselves another 1-2 pitch. I'm not impressed with with Rogers, the Lion, until he does something this year, right now. If he can start doing something, then I'll be impressed. Here's the next pitch. Blown away. 2-2. Dubon is consistently mediocre at the plate, so we already know that that's what he's like. Here's the 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Ball 3. Good at bat by Cam Smith. Trying to get himself some good pitches. 2 outs, full count. Here comes the pitch. This is hit hard right through the hole on the left side, so Cam Smith has a 2-out single. Third hit for the Astros. Let's see if they can actually manage to get some runs on the board here. Dubon is coming up to the plate in just a moment. My second cup of coffee is also up to the plate. .61 pitches now for Tobias Myers. Cam Smith on first, 2 outs. Here's the first pitch to Dubon. He shows bunt, but takes a strike. Okay. Cam Smith's bat, his hit rather, off the bat was 105.1 miles an hour. Nice. Smack. Here comes 0-1 to Dubon. He shows bunt again, and he bunts it in the air right to the pitcher. I mean, really? Why are you bunting with 2 outs? Why are you bunting with 2 outs? I don't know. I guess they feel they can't hit the ball or something. I don't know. Astros give up in the 5th inning. We're going to go to the bottom of the 5th. Down 3-0. Blanco will be back on the mound in just a moment. He's up to 58 pitches for the game. I will finish preparing my second cup of coffee here. And let me put that right over there. All right. I got a few sugar ants that have gotten into the house. This old house here, this is a 55-year-old Japanese house, and it's built kind of in a traditional style. It has like the earth walls and the wooden beams. So the cracks between the walls, is very easy for things like these little sugar ants to just come into the house. So if they find just one little crumb of bread, you'll see a trail of these black sugar ants coming in, and you have to get these traps to kill them. It's ironic. I don't have this problem with these ants in my old house. I have a 200-year-old house. That's the one I'm moving into. A 200-year-old house. And I don't have this problem with ants that I have in this 55-year-old house. And this house is much more modern. It has a modern kitchen. It has a modern bathroom and a shower and all of those things. My 200-year-old house has no bathroom, no kitchen. I'm having to construct those things. And yet I don't have problems with black ants. The sugar ants. It's kind of nuts. But that house is up off the ground by like 2 feet, 2.5 feet. Blanco's on the mound, and he fires that first pitch in there, a changeup 83 miles an hour to get the swing and miss from Jackson Churio. 0-1. Here comes the second pitch. Way outside. Looks like a sweeper. Was that a sweeper? That was a slider, they say. I guess Blanco doesn't throw sweepers. Maybe not. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Another slider outside, identical to the last pitch, 2-1. I've got so many little things to do. Moving is just the first part. That's the easy part. The hard part is coming. In the dirt, should be ball 3. Check swing. They say he didn't go. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 62 pitches now for Blanco. Here comes the 63rd. Fouled high and away. Full count. Mel, you asked earlier about my move. I was going to tell you the second part of that is my house needs some things before I can really move in. Churio calls timeout, steps out of the box. Like, I have a water well, but I need a new pump. I bought a new pump, got to install it. Here comes the next pitch, full count pitch. Grounded right through the hole on the left side. That's going to be a base hit. Full count base hit, runner on first. Brewers have another leadoff hit. A leadoff base runner. 8 hits now for the Brewers. No outs, runner on first. Isaac Collins comes to the plate. First pitch a little high and outside, ball 1. But yeah, my house needs water pipes installed. It needs the water pump installed. It needs the rooms to be cleaned. I need to set up some kind of walls. It has sliding doors instead of walls, so I have to try to close that in and have some privacy. That's in there for strike 1, 1-1 to Collins. I don't even have a septic tank. There's so much stuff I have to do to get the house really comfortable and livable. Here's a 1-1 pitch, a little high and outside, just barely misses for ball 2. DeLine says, yeah, he was doing well. They didn't play him for a week because of an oblique or something, and he's been out about the same as Dubon says. Yeah. His batting average has come down so much, it's almost the same as Dubon's. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, a good 86 mile per hour slider by Blanco. If not for that little good streak that he had earlier in the season, his batting average would be either where Dubon's is or below, probably below. Because, you know, he had that little stint early in the season where he was on fire for a few games, and then after that he just fell off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Collins takes that outside. Another full count. Three balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one's in there and it's hit straight up and back out of play. Count remains 3-2. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off again. Collins was running on that play. Three balls, 2 strikes. Blanco keeps shaking off the signs, and he finally nods and agrees with Diaz. Here's the pitch. Just a little too far inside. Ball 4. First 2 batters for the Brewers are on base. A single and a walk. Full count walk. Probably going to see some action in the Astros bullpen right now. If not, I would think there's something wrong. Yonder comes out and does a little bit of chit chat with Blanco. William Contreras comes to the plate. Here comes the first pitch to Contreras. He hits that one high. Is it playable? No, that's going to go way out of play. 0-1 with that swing and foul ball. Oh and 1. Here's the pitch to Contreras. Low and outside, ball 1, and that evens the count. No outs. Runners on first and second. Blanco has dug a little bit of a hole here in the bottom of the fifth. Let's see if he can find a way out. That's on the inside edge. Strike 1, a four-seam fastball, 91 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Whoops. I changed my count to 2 and 2 by accident. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, ball 2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Low and away, ball 3, another full count. Blanco just working his butt off right now, having to throw a ton of pitches just to get through these batters. That's 3 full counts this inning. Sousa is now warming up. Bennett Sousa is warming up in the bullpen for the Astros. Here comes a full count pitch. Strike 3. Finally, a good result. Swing and a miss for Contreras. Contreras basically second in the league with runners in scoring position. Blanco puts him away for out number 1. That brings up Christian Yelich, or Yelich. Here's the pitch. Just a little outside, ball 1. Got about 8 people following along. That's 2 more than 6. 80th pitch of the game coming for Blanco. Fouled away by Yelich, and that will even the count 1-1. There's another foul ball at the plate on an 86 mile per hour slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Blanco. Back-to-back strikeouts after 3 full counts. He comes back on a 1-2 count to get another strikeout. Look at this. Next batter is Rhys Hoskins. First pitch is on the way, right in there, 92 miles an hour. Great pitch. Strike 1. Runners kind of camped out on first and second. They haven't been able to advance after allowing a walk and a hit. Blanco has 2 strikeouts. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That's hit hard to left field and just foul. Man, that was close. Right down the line. Blanco dodged a bullet there. 0-2 is the count. Blanco with an opportunity for another strikeout here. That'd be 3 in a row. Here comes that 0-2 pitch. Just a little high and outside for ball 1. 1-2. The line says, nice. Yes, nice indeed. Jordan says, you're very good at this. If you're talking to me about commentating the game, thank you so much. I appreciate that. There we go, guys. Check it out. Strikeout number 3. Heck yes. How do you like that? Blanco with the glove tap. He gives up a hit, then a walk. No outs. And then he strikes out the next 3 batters. That's what I like to see right there. That's the end of the 5th. Blanco digs himself a hole and he promptly climbs out of it. Going into the top of the 6th, the Astros bats. Time for them to wake up. Blanco dug the hole because he was looking for the bodies of his Astros teammates in order to resurrect them and pull them out of the grave. That's why he dug the hole in the bottom of the 5th. Now that we're in the top of the 6th, he has successfully reanimated the Astros and their bats, and we can expect them to do something from the 6th inning forward. That is my prediction for the future. How many viewers do we have right now? How many people following along or listening in? 9! We're almost at double digits again today. It's a rather slow game, not nearly as popular as the White Sox games. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's see. Jordan says, especially at 3 a.m. or whatever time it is there, thanks. Jordan, I will say this. If it's an evening game in the U.S., then for me it's a morning game. So, for example, this game started at 8:40 a.m. So it was no problem for me to get a good night's sleep and to get up at a decent time, cook some breakfast, make some coffee, relax, and sit down and do the game. Right now it's 10 o'clock in the morning. No, it's no problem. It's easy. It's a nice chill atmosphere and day for me. But if the game is in the afternoon in the U.S., those games are difficult. They can start at 2:30, 3 o'clock, 4 in the morning. Whew, kind of difficult for me. Jeremy Pena comes to the plate. He takes that first pitch in there for strike 1. 0-1 is the count. Myers back on the mound. Here comes the pitch. Pena taps that to first. He's going to have to hurry and get it to the pitcher. He taps on the base there, and Pena goes down. One away. And Jose Altuve. What kind of a cup was that? Did you guys see the baseball bat cup? That was hilarious. One of the guys they showed had a beer that was in a baseball bat. That's funny. Baseball beer bat cup. First pitch to Altuve is way inside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Practically in the dirt. Ball 2. Good takes by Altuve. He grounded out in the 4th inning. He's 0 for 2 today so far. But that doesn't matter. What matters is what we're going to do now and in the future. Let's do it, Altuve. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Ooh, swing and a miss. Altuve went after the good pitch, but he didn't stay in there. He didn't commit and stay in there. So he missed it. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the 2-1 pitch. This one's hit up the middle, all the way to the gap. It's going to go to the wall. That's what I'm talking about right there. Altuve jogging to second base. He's going to be in there standing with himself a double. That's right, Altuve. That is right. You show them what you can do. 1 for 3 today with a double. My man is on base. Let's take another look at that. Four-seam fastball, like 5 inches out of the zone, but if anybody can hit that, he's the one who can do it. Heck yes. We got ourselves a 1-out double. Isaac Paredes comes to the plate. Altuve on second. The 69th pitch just delivered by Myers. Here comes the 70th. Paredes takes that pitch in the bottom of the zone, right over the plate. Strike one. Jordan says that's better. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love the morning games. Those are nice. I can sleep well, get up, take my time, and enjoy the morning and have a good game. Hopefully the Astros can give that to me. Altuve just gave me a little bit of happiness. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Paredes. Outside. Ball one. Top of the sixth with 1 out, runner on second. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that's low and in the dirt. Ball two. Good takes by Paredes. He socked the ball, Paredes. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Whoa, almost clipped him on the arms there. That was close. 3 balls and 1 strike. Four hits now for the Astros. Just 3 hits behind the Brewers. 3-1 pitch on the way. Ooh, that was right in there. 84 mile per hour slider. That was a hitter's pitch right there, my friend. You should have swung at that. Count is full. Brewers do have some guys pitching in the bullpen right now. Here comes the full count pitch to Paredes. He hits it off his side. He's going to get through. The first baseman can't handle it. Altuve gets to third. Is he going to go home? No, he can't get home. He will stop at third base. But Paredes probably has himself an infield base hit. That was a difficult play for the first baseman. He dove for it and couldn't glove it. Here comes the hit. Look at that. Just couldn't get it. Womp womp. Yep, they do call it a hit. I thought they would. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Christian Walker comes to the plate with a really big opportunity once again. He's come through before in some of these opportunities where he's just not having a good game. You know, of course, he's been in a slump this whole season, essentially. But he has been able to come through in some key moments and put the Astros up or get them back in, and this is a tremendous opportunity for him to do that again right here. He has the power and the ability to pull that ball into left field. Let's see if he can do it. Here comes the first pitch. He hits it right back to the pitcher. Pitcher goes way up high to second. Is he safe? He's safe at second base. Altuve scores. That's going to be an infield hit for Christian Walker. Tobias Myers, the pitcher, tried to go for the double play, but he made a terrible throw to second. Let's take another look at it. Look at this. He jumps and way up high. Good play by Paredes to keep his foot on the bag. He is safe. Look at this. Terrible throw by the pitcher. Paredes just barely in there and keeps his foot on the base. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Good job right there. Yainer Diaz comes to the plate. First pitch to him is low for ball one. 3-1 Astros. I'm sorry, 3-1 Astros down by 2. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Yainer. Yainer fouls that one off way up high and out to the right field side. The count is 1-1. Hey, I got a dozen watching now. We are over the double-digit mark. Thank you for being here. Make sure you leave a like on the live stream. It really does help me out. Here comes a 1-1 pitch to Yiner. Swing and a miss there. Not a really good pitch to be swinging at. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They're actually going to call that a fielder's choice, that hit by Paredes. Yiner goes up the middle. That's going to be down for a hit. Center fielder can't handle it very well, but the runners are going to be held up. That's bases loaded for the Astros. Yiner Diaz with another hit. He continues to remain on fire over these past 7 or 8 games. Let's take a look at it. Right up the middle, short hops the center fielder. And the Astros are going to be facing a new pitcher. They're not going to let Tobias Myers continue for the Brewers. 80 pitches and he's done. He's going to go have a seat with bases loaded. Who's coming to the plate for the Astros? Zach DeCenzo. Zach DeCenzo is up with bases loaded and 1 out. 1 error for the Brewers this inning. They've now given up 6 hits, 1 run, Altuve scored. A double started this inning. After that, the Astros started moving their guys around. We got 1 run in, and now bases loaded, threatening for more, gunning for more. I told you, did I not? At the end of the 5th that Ronel Blanco, the reason he dug that hole was so that he could find the Astros bats and resurrect them, reanimate them, bring them back to life for the top of the 6th. And so far, that has been the case. 3-1, they trail, but they have bases loaded with just 1 out. Zach DeCenzo with a great opportunity here to drive in a couple of runs. But I would love to see him get a grand slam. Seeing these young guys get these big hits in situations like this to boost their confidence, solidify their place on the team. I mean, the Astros really need to find a few of these young players. They have some. They just need them to step up and secure their place and their future on this team. We have a great opportunity right now to do that. We've got several guys in this lineup that are capable of doing that, including right now Cam Smith and Zach DeCenzo. Not to mention Yiner Diaz. He hasn't been with us for too long, but we already expect great things out of Diaz. DeCenzo and Smith still have things to prove. Nick Mears is in the game. He's facing DeCenzo. Here's the pitch. Low and away. A little check swing. They say he did not go. Or did he go? Yeah, they say he did go. Wow, that didn't look like he went at all. Strike 1. DeCenzo is batting .500 with runners in scoring position. The Astros dugout were complaining about that call. The umpire's telling the dugout to calm themselves down. He was yelling at the dugout, telling them to shut it. Shut it! But that check swing was not a good call, in my opinion, so I agree with him. Bases loaded. Here's a 0-1 pitch. That is a strike on the outside edge. 0-2. 0-2 to DeCenzo. Nick Mears on the mound for the Brewers. Here's the 0-2 pitch to DeCenzo. DeCenzo fouls that back, a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Count remains 0-2. Oh and 2. Here's the pitch. Check swing low and away. Snow swing this time. They got it right finally. The crowd boos. The umpire needs to tell the crowd to shut it. Take a look at this. Yeah, he didn't go. You know, the funny thing is, his last check swing was even less than that, and they called it a strike. DeCenzo swings and misses on that next pitch, though, and he goes down, so the check swings don't matter. He strikes out. Out number 2. We're down to one more out. We need these guys to do something, but who comes to the plate but Jake Myers, Mr. Baseball himself? Here's the pitch. Myers hits it to shortstop, who grabs it, fires to first. Not a great throw, but it gets the job done, and the Astros don't get any more. That was a little disappointing. Well, it was more than a little disappointing. But you know what? The Astros got on the board. They're only down by 2 now. Astros wound up with a few hits that inning and 1 run. Stranded 3 runners. We go into the bottom of the 6th. Down 3-1. 7 hits for the Brewers, 6 hits for the Astros. Reynel Blanco likely still on the mound for now. But you know what? Then again, I don't know. Maybe not. He's up to 86 pitches now that I look at it. Maybe he will be replaced. We will see. But I'm going to replace the picture on the screen to Nick Myers. Oh, Mears. He might not be in the game next at bat, but Tobias is out, so I might as well change it anyway. There we go. If Blanco is out, I will update that in just a moment. BitDog says, go Stros. BitDog, thanks for coming back. It's nice to see you again. Absolutely, go Stros. I feel like this second cup of coffee went way too fast. I wonder if I can have a second cup of weak coffee with the same bag. It won't be so good. But I don't want to have a third cup of strong coffee, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to roll with it. Sausage people races. Jake Bauers is at the plate. Blanco's still on the mound. First pitch is outside for ball 1. 87 pitches. Quickly now coming with the 88th. Fouled off on the first base side. Strike 1. The count's even. 1-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Jake Bauers 1 for 2 today with a single off of Blanco. That pitch is just a few inches inside for ball 2. 93 mile per hour fasty. 89 pitches. Here's the 90th. This one's hit foul back and away into the crowd. Evens the count. 2-2. So ball strike, ball strike. Let's see if Blanco can hang another K. Another special K on these guys. Here comes the 2-2 delivery. It'll check swing foul ball. And the count remains 2-2. 15 watching now. It seems the viewer count is climbing a little bit as the game progresses. That's nice to see. Please like the live stream if you haven't already. This is hit out to left field. Looks like DeCenzo is underneath it and puts it away, no problem. Me likey, out number 1. BitDog, yes, give a thumbs up, guys. Absolutely. My live stream has been on 11 likes, 11 thumbs up since the beginning, since the first inning. So from the first inning until now, it has not gone up. Caleb Durbin is at the plate, takes that first pitch for ball one. Here comes the next one. Swing and a miss, and he threw his bat. Holy cow. He threw his bat. It just came out of his hands. What are you doing there, buddy? Look at this. Whip. Like it's a greased watermelon or something. One ball, one strike to Durbin. Every time I see Durbin, I think of my teacher in school, Mr. Durbin. He was a good guy. He was a really good guy. But Caleb Durbin, we want you to strike out, mister. That one's in the dirt. Ball two. Two balls, one strike. Here's the delivery. This one's hit to right center. Cam Smith is going to come in and grab it. Good job. Out number two. Two up and two down. Renel Blanco is now up to 96 pitches, guys. 96. He remains in the game. For now, he's definitely not going to get through the next inning. He's going to be out. This is going to be his last inning. He's now facing Vinny Capra. Swing and a miss there. Strike one on Capra. 0-1 is the count. Here comes a pitch. Hit out to right field. Is it going to be playable? Yes, it is. Smith is underneath it. He grabs it and tosses it out in the crowd harmlessly. 3 up and 3 down for Renel Blanco. Good job, man. Blanco gets through 6 innings, gives up 3 runs in total. Unfortunately, Blanco just had 1 breakdown in the 3rd inning, gave up 3. But through 6, he's given up 7 hits and 3 runs. I can't complain too much about that. 6 runs, giving up... I'm sorry, 6 runs. 6 innings, giving up 3 runs. The responsibility right now is heavily on the shoulders of the Astros bats and the relief pitchers. But basically the idea is that if a baseball team wants to have a chance of winning a game, they have to score a league average of runs, and that amount is 4. So every time the Astros score 3 or less, they are not even meeting the league average. And that's just completely unacceptable. If you're just talking about an ML team, that's already unacceptable, but for a team like the Astros with such talent and ability, it's not like they don't have talent and ability. They are loaded with that. They just aren't showing it. They are improving. They have been getting better. But it's like somebody said in the live stream the other day, and I hate to say this because I don't want to believe it, but it has been said often since last year and this year. The Astros tend to play up to or down to the level of the team that they're facing. I won't say that that's true or false, but I will say it sure does seem like there's some truth to it sometimes. But I think the better way to describe it is just inconsistency. I don't know exactly what the Astros do with their hitting coaches to improve what they're doing at the plate, but whatever it is, they need to change it. Jared Koenig is at the plate now, or at the plate. He's on the rubber for the Brewers. He'll be the new pitcher. Jared Koenig. I need to download his picture. He's going to be facing Cam Smith. The first pitch is on the way in just a moment. First pitch is right in there, 94 mile per hour sinker, strike 1. Top of the 7th, guys. Woo, 95 sinker, another pitch right in there. Real quickly, Cam is behind 0-2 in the count. There comes the 0-2 pitch. Way outside for ball one. Off speed pitch. One ball, two strikes to Cam Smith. Here comes the delivery. Fouled off. Count remains 1-2. Jared Koenig. Next pitch is foul tipped into the glove of the catcher, and that's going to be a strikeout for Cam. First out of the inning for the Astros. That brings up Mauricio Dubon. First pitch is on the way. Right in the middle of the zone, and Dubon does go after it, but fouls it back for strike one. Koenig's pitch, second pitch is on the way. Little low and in the dirt. Catcher has to root around to pick it up. Like a little groundhog. One ball, one strike to Dubon. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. He hits that one out into right field. A nice soft liner. Drops in for a base hit. Heck yes, Dubon does it again. Getting himself on base. One out single. Let's take another look at that. Just a nice soft liner out into right field. Let's see here. Tying run comes to the plate. Here's the pitch to Pena. A little high and outside. Ball one. Good take. Come on, Mr. Pena. Mr. Taqueros. What's the name of the taco place that he does the commercials for? Can't remember. I've never been there. Here's the pitch. Way outside. Definitely not where the catcher was expecting it. He had to kind of dive for it. I think he was looking for an inside pitch. Ball two. Good takes by Pena. Koenig has the pitch that he wants. Here comes the delivery. That's right in there. A 93 mile per hour sinker for strike one. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's a quality start. Thumbs up. Yeah, we got a guy on base. 2 balls, 1 strike to Pena. Here's the pitch. Ooh, right in there again. A sinker. Right in the zone. The same pitches that Cam Smith was taking. But Dubon was swinging at those. You got to swing at those, Pena. 2-2. Here's the pitch. Hit up the middle. No, that's foul ball. Womp womp. Sorry about that. It looked like it was hit up the middle. I wanted it to be, okay? I wanted it to be up the middle. Pena, make it up the middle just for me. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Dubon on first. Jared Koenig dealing to Jeremy Pena. And here is the pitch. Just a little inside. Good take. Full count. Brewers have another couple of... Oh, just one. One right-hander going in the bullpen. 3-2 delivery to Pena. Fouled off. Right in the low part of the zone. Yeah, you can't let that one go. That one was right there. Could have been called strike 3. Pena protecting the zone. Good swing. Astros have evened up the hit count at 7, but they trail by 2. Altuve on deck. Pena with the full count. Here comes the pitch. And it's hit to the left side. Looks like it could be a double play, and it is. Unfortunately, that's going to end the inning. Altuve has no chance to come up with runners on. That's going to be it for the top of the 7th. The Astros go quietly into the night. 7th inning stretch has begun, guys. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Astros down 3-1. Hit count is even, 7-7. One error on the Brewers side, none on the Astros. And I'm going to stretch my legs. I need to get up and walk around so that my legs don't cramp. It is the terrible effects of anemia related to renal cancer. Gotta love it, right? But it's okay. I'm doing my best to take care of myself, but I do need to get up and move around and get that blood flow. I'll be right back, and go Stros. All right, guys, I'm back. And Caleb Ort is on the mound for the Astros facing Joey Ortiz. Here's the first pitch. 94 miles an hour, hit to the right side. Is it playable? No, it's about 5 or 6, 7, 8 rows back into the stands. Strike one. Caleb Ort. Mr. Ort, I need to change the picture from Blanco since you are now in the game. Mr. Ort, where are you? There you are, sir. Caleb Ort. That is another foul ball. Excuse me. Strike two. 0-2 is the count. Ort has the call. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. High and outside, ball one. Ort looking for a potential strikeout here. 3.1 innings for Ort so far. He has struggled a little bit with a 5.4 ERA. This one's hit out to right field. It might be playable. And Smith makes the play right there in the corner. Good pitch by Cam Smith. Good pitch. Good play. Opposite field hit. Luckily, it was a kind of a lazy fly ball. So he had time to get over there, but a good catch. Out number one. That brings up Jackson Chorio. First pitch to him is on the way. Just a little outside. 96 mile per hour pitch. 1-0 is the count. With one out, nobody on. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled away. Just like that, the count is even. 94 mile an hour pitch. How many likes do we have on the live stream now? Please be more than 11. It is. It's 12. It's just one more, but at least that's an improvement. A little high, 97 miles an hour. Ball 2. I'm not sure that this live stream is going to get to 20 today. I still need 8 more likes. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Grounded at the plate. 89 mile per hour changeup. Good pitch by Ort. 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out, no runners on. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Trio goes after it and hits it straight up. Pena's underneath it. Dubon backs off. Out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. Ort helping himself out here and dropping his ERA down a little bit. .2 innings pitched so far. Just 9 pitches. 6 of those strikes. 2 fly balls. 2 outs. Here's the 10th pitch of the inning against Collins, William Collins, or Isaac Collins rather. He sends that one out into left field. DeCenzo's under it. Here we go. 10 pitches, 3 fly balls. How do you like that? Good job, Mr. Caleb Ort. I am proud of you, man. I'm happy for you. You had a good, solid inning. After struggling a little bit before, he comes back and he gets the Astros through the 7th. Stros just down by 2. We go into the top of the 8th. Three to 1. Just need 2 runs to tie it up. 14 likes now on this live stream. I appreciate it, guys. Now we are moving along. We're trucking along. My likes stayed basically camped out on 11 for about 6 innings. Then I got 1 more like. Now we have 2 more than that. I'd love to get to 20. 20 would be my ideal minimal. 10 is the minimal for me right now, simply because I recognize the size of the channel, the timing of the season, and some of the teams, the timing of the games, etc. They're not all going to be as popular or as successful as all of the other live streams. There are different reasons, different I guess you could say contributors that dictate the success of each live stream. But I will say that last year, when I started streaming in the summer, by the end of the year, I was getting nearly 1,000 views per game. I'm slowly rebuilding that, and that's nice. I think right now I haven't been able to get more than 300 and something views on one video, on one live stream, but it's growing. So I appreciate you guys being here. I just want to say thank you again. Something that I want to continue to express regularly. There will never be a game to go by or a live stream to go by that I won't say thank you multiple times. I'm trying to work out how to go about locating some advertisers that I can put on the screen so that I can rely on that for channel support. Jose Altuve is at the plate. He is facing a new pitcher, Grant Anderson. He throws that right in there for strike 1. 4th bat for the awesome player, my favorite player. Here's the next pitch. That one's hit out in the left. Oh, just barely foul. Holy cow, that was close. That would have been another extra base hit for Altuve. Actually, in this game, Altuve is the only player with an extra base hit for the Astros. 0-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Anderson. Altuve takes that one. Woo, that was a dangerous pitch to be taking. It was right on the edge. Called ball 1. That was dangerous. But this umpire, man, you never know. He calls some strange stuff on those pitches. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Way high. Good take by Altuve. 2-2. As soon as this game is over, I'm going to take myself a nice hot shower. I just need to feel good. Here's the pitch. Grounded at the plate by Altuve. The count remains 2-2. No outs. Altuve leading off here in the top of the 8th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's facing Grant Anderson. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He hits that one down the right side. Foul. Count remains 2-2. We've got a baker's dozen listening in right now. A baker's dozen. Here comes the next pitch, the 2-2 pitch to Altuve. He hits that one hard out to left field. Is it going to get down? No, it's going to be caught. Close. Close, but no cigar for Mr. Altuve. Out number 1 for the Astros here in the top of the 8th. Isaac Paredes comes to the plate. First pitch from Anderson is a strike right in there. Oh, 0-1 is the count. 0-1 pitches on the way. Taken again for a strike. 94 miles an hour that time. 0-2. What you doing there, Mr. Paredes? Next pitch is on the way. Hit high into center field. It looks like it's going to be playable. And it is. Churio puts it away for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. Man, they're giving away more Altuve stuff on May 9th in Houston. A vintage white and pink Jose Altuve jersey. I wish I had all this stuff, all this loot, all this bling bling. Christian Walker at the plate takes that sweeper for ball 1, just off the outside edge. Here comes the next pitch. That one's several inches outside of the zone and low for ball 2. 2-0 to Walker. A dozen pitches now for Anderson. Here comes his baker's dozen in just a moment. Christian Walker 0 for 3 today, looking to make it 1 for 4. There it is right there, 1 for 4. Hits it to the right side. Walker on first base with a 2-out base runner. A 2-out hit. He came through to get on base, but when it really, really mattered most, he didn't. A little sad. But the Astros take the lead in the hitting. 8 hits to 7. That brings up Yainer Diaz. First pitch to him is a swing and a miss. That ball was way outside. Yainer whiffed at it. Strike 1. Christian Walker on first base with a hit. Yainer Diaz at the plate with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. Good take by Yainer, and the count is even, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 opportunity to do something here. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Another crazy swing by Yainer, chasing that Sweeper way outside, man. What is with the chasing those terrible pitches? This should be 3 balls, no strikes, but instead it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Yiner. He hits that one down the third base line, just foul. Count remains 1-2. Long delay by the pitcher. Looks like he's got what he wants now, though. Here comes the delivery. He throws another sweeper outside. Yiner looked like he wanted to go after it, but he thankfully was able to hold up that time. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Yiner. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fouled off, out of play. Count remains 2-2. Astros down 3-1 in this game. It's a very close game. It's just it's a sad thing to see them with 8 hits and stranding so many runners on base. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Diaz. That's a little outside. Good take. Full count with 2 outs. Walker's on first. He'll be able to take off on the pitch. Here's the pitch. That's hit to the shortstop. Should be an easy play, and it is. Yiner is out. 3 up and 3 down, or should I say 4 up and 3 down. Anderson gets out of it. Astros get nothing. Just 1 hit. One more inning. One more chance for the Astros to do something from the plate. We go into the bottom of the 8th. 3-1, the Brewers are leading, but the Astros are leading the hitting 8-7. 1 error for the Brewers. Another one of those games. I'm tired of calling games like this. I'm tired of calling these games where the Astros just can't score runs. What in the world is going on with the Astros? The bats. We have such great fielders, great defense. Overall, we have great pitchers. We only have a couple of moments here and there where the pitchers screw up and blow the game, like the game yesterday, unfortunately. Even though McCullers didn't have what you would call a great game, he still had a shutout, He really did. He threw way too many pitches in just a few innings, and he had way too many base runners, but he had a shutout. And then the Astros had the lead, 4-0, late in the game, 4-0. And then they allowed them to come back, the White Sox to just come back and kick their butts. I'm sorry, they were yeah, that's right, 4-0. And then they came back, gave up 5 runs. So they had a total breakdown and lost 5-4. It was a ridiculous game. To the White Sox. They weren't playing the Padres. They weren't playing the Dodgers. It was the White Sox. The dirty White Sox. Oh, my goodness. My goodness gracious. And now they're losing 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Bennett Sousa comes to the mound. He'll be on for the Astros right now. Sousa just finished warming up. First pitch is on the way in just a moment. He is facing William Contreras. Little check swing ball in the dirt. They say he did not go. 1-0. DeLine says, man, we need slugging, bro. A truer statement not spoken, my friend. 1-0 is the count. Here's the pitch. Sousa gets the swing and a miss on that one. A nice slider. The bottom kind of fell out of it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Even count on the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 8th. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, but he goes after it with a half-hearted swing. Fooled him. Strike 2. Man, what a dirty pitch. One and 2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one's hit hard, foul, 94-mile-per-hour fastball. Count remains 1 and 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Sousa. In the dirt. He doesn't go after that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the delivery. Just a little bit off the plate. It's going to be a full count. That, my friends, is a full count. DeCenzo cost us the game yesterday. Jordan, that's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. Can't let him off the hook. There we go. Strikeouts. He chased after it, finally. And Sousa gets the strikeout. Heck yes. Contreras goes down with a whiff. 1 away. Christian Yelich comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch from Sousa. Right in there. 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Good pitch. Right down the gut. 0-1. Brewers have another reliever going in the pen right now. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Little check swing. Did he go? They say no, he did not. 1 ball, 1 strike to Yelich. 10th pitch of the game for Sousa. Another one of those nasty sliders that drops, but Yelich doesn't go after it. 2 balls, no strikes. Sousa comes set. Here's the next pitch. Little check swing there, low. That time he did go, says the third base ump. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another opportunity for a strikeout here. Let's see if he can get it. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Woo, just a little too far outside, maybe by almost a foot. Full count. With 1 out, no runners on. Jordan says our only run so far is a ground out. Here's the 3-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 4. So he loses Yelich. He'll go to first. We have a 1 out base runner to deal with. Yeah, and Jordan, that's not even, I think, actually, no, I think that play was not even a ground out. Nobody got out. It was just a bad throw to second base by the pitcher. Right? Is that the play? Where he tried to throw it to second base? And while I'm talking, Yelich steals second base on the very first pitch to Rhys Hoskins. 0-1. That was a strike. Here comes the next pitch from Sousa. This is hit hard to left field, and it's going to be a fair ball out to the wall. It's easily going to score. Yelich, he'll jog home. Astros down 4-1. And that's a double. Ripped right down the line. You can see it right here. I mean, just less than a foot. Look at that, right on the line. Couldn't have been more perfect in the corner there. Terrible, terrible, as Charles Barkley would say. It's terrible. Rhys Hoskins will come out. It will bring out a pinch runner for him. Still one out. Runner on second. Brewers up 4-1. Brewers trying to get some insurance runs. They got one so far. Astros and the Brewers are tied in hits at 8 apiece. Bennett Sousa now has an earned run. Here's the next pitch. The first to Jake Bauers, low and outside, but just clips the corner for strike one. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Nope. Sousa comes off the bag and fakes the throw to second, but the runner is back. Oh, 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, just below the zone. Nice looking sinker. Or a slider, rather. 1-1 is the count. Looks like Taylor Scott is warming up in the bullpen. 1-1 is the count against Bauers. Here's the pitch from Sousa. That one's way too low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jordan says, I saw on ESPN runs scored on a ground out, but I trust you more. Yeah, Jordan, I have to think about it because there was a play where Altuve, I thought Altuve had scored whenever there was a ball hit to the pitcher. The pitcher threw it to second to try to get like the double play, but he threw it really badly. And he didn't get anybody. Everybody wound up being safe. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch from Sousa. Bauers swings at that one, hits it right up the middle. That's going to be another hit. Might score a run. Myers brings it in quickly, but it's no use. 5-1. Astros are down. This game is starting to get out of hand. Bennett Sousa now with 2 earned runs. Disappointing is the word of the day for this game. I looked again. It says we scored on an error. Yeah, okay. I was right. Caleb Durbin comes to the plate. Basically what happened there, Jordan, was that it was hit to the pitcher, and the pitcher tried to go to second base for a double play, and he made such a terrible throw to second that Paredes was able to slide in and be safe, and the second baseman was not able to make a play to first, so Altuve scored. And everybody was safe, so they didn't even get one out. That's how they scored. 20 pitches now for Sousa. He fires over to first, and the batter is back. Runner on first, 1 out. 2 runs scored so far for the Brewers this inning. Low and away, but just in the corner. 95-mile-per-hour fastball, strike 1. Caleb Durbin facing Bennett Sousa. Sousa now up to his 22nd pitch. That one's on the outside edge, 96 miles an hour, strike 2. Oh, my avatar disappeared. Sorry about that. Boom. I keep clicking and turning off the wrong things on the screen. Here's the pitch, the 0-2 pitch. Just a little low and inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. This one's hit out into right field. Should be playable by Cam Smith, and it is. Out number 2. Runner stays at first. The Brewers had their closer warming up in the bullpen, but now he has sat down. They have another guy warming up. So they look like they're feeling this game is firmly in hand. First pitch to Vinny Capra is a ball. 1-0 is the count with 2 outs and runner on first. This is hit up to left field. That's going to bounce in for a single. DeCenzo scoops it up and throws it in, but runners advance to second. Now we have runners on first and second with 2 outs. The inning of hits continues for Bennett Sousa. The Brewers now have 11 hits. Two runs and several hits now against Sousa. He's facing Jackson Churia. And check that out. Both runners go double steal, and they are safe. Even with the throw over to third, doesn't matter. He's safe. Runners advance to second and third. Count is 0-1. Here is the pitch to Ortiz. He fouls it off for strike 2. Brewers just making the Astros look kind of bad in every way. Not letting them hit the ball, scoring runs, stealing bases. It's silly. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Well, that's called strike 3, so Sousa finally gets himself out of the inning, but not before giving up a couple of runs. Astros down 5-1, guys, going into the top of the 9th, so we no longer have just a couple of runs to get to tie this game. We have to get 4, count them, 4 runs just to tie. And this is the last chance to do it. Top of the 9th coming up. Zach DeCenzo is due up, followed by Jake Myers and Cam Smith. So Astros' bottom of the batting order is going to have to shoulder the responsibility of getting something started here. Our 6th, 7th, and 8th batters are due up. Diaz has a hit, but DeCenzo, Myers do not. Smith has 1 hit, a single. Dubon and Smith both have hits, both have singles. Pena and Altuve both have hits. Altuve with the only extra base hit of the game for the Astros. Paredes has 2 hits for the Astros. Walker has 1. So if the bottom of the Astros batting order could get some guys on and get us into the top of the batting order, maybe we could get something going here. This is an opportunity for the Astros to do something. If you really think about it, DeCenzo's batting .265 right now. He hasn't had a good game so far today, but he has been getting the bat on the ball, and he has been coming on over the past several weeks. So obviously he could do something to lead off. Jake Myers is batting .293, and he was on fire and then cooled off a little and then got on fire again. His OPS is off the charts right now. It's higher than Aaron Judge on the road. So he could do something. Cam Smith, you never know. He's only batting .210 right now. He's a little streaky, but he's got the ability. And Dubon, you never know with Dubon. He's kind of a mixed bag right now. But the potential is there. With the top or the bottom 4 in this batting order, they could do something. Joel Pamps is on the mound for the Brewers. And here's the first pitch to DeCenzo. It's in there for a strike. 0-1. Are the Astros going to do something right here? We're about to find out. Here comes the pitch. DeCenzo swings and misses that one low and away. Strike 2. 84-mile-an-hour slider. Pimp shakes off a couple of calls. He's got what he wants now. Here comes the pitch to DeCenzo in the dirt. Ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes to DeCenzo. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt again. Ball 2. The count is even, my friends. 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Low, just below the zone. Check swing. He does not go. That's a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Our leadoff batter in the 9th inning. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off at the plate. DeCenzo stays alive. Yeah, Jordan, you said earlier that's worse than a ground out. Yeah, the error. That's right. Our only run scored came on an error. It should have been a double play, and the pitcher screwed it up. So it wasn't even a ground out. It wasn't even a fielder's choice. Here's the pitch. Ooh, strike 3. Right in the bottom of the zone. DeCenzo lets it go. Man, you cannot come to the plate in the 9th inning and take a pitch like that. You have to swing the bat, man. You're down by 4 runs. You absolutely cannot take any pitches even close to the zone. You have to swing the bat. There's no way you can win the game like that. Jake Myers comes to the plate. The first pitch to him is also in the bottom of the zone, a little low, but taken for strike 1. Myers doesn't have a hit yet tonight. Next one he takes for strike 2. 0-2, just like that. 1 away. Jake Myers at the plate, despite the hot streak, has been completely chill tonight. All of the Brewers pitchers have put him on ice. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Low and away, ball 2. I'm sorry, ball 1. It's 1-2. One and two. Here's the pitch. This one's hit out to right field. It looks playable, and no, it's going to drop. They weren't able to get there. Myers has himself a single, first hit of the game, and we have a 1-out base runner. Look at this. They just couldn't quite get there. The first baseman and the right fielder were in. Just barely dropped in. Bloop. Okay. 1 runner on. 1 out. Cam Smith comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. High, taken for ball 1. Good take. Myers on first base, 1 away in the top of the 9th. Here's the pitch to Smith. That one's low, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. 95-mile-per-hour fastball off the bat of Smith. 2 balls, 1 strike. The line says, yo, yeah. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Cam swings at that one, a 95-mile-per-hour fastball right in the middle of the plate, and he can't put the bat on it. Strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jake Myers on first, ready to run. Cam Smith called timeout for a second. Now he's ready to go. Here comes the delivery. Right in there. He goes down looking also. Zach DeCenzo and Cam Smith both go down looking with pitches right in the zone. Why are you doing that at all, much less in the 9th inning? Mauricio Dubon comes to the plate. He's the last chance, 2 away for the Astros right now with Myers on first. He goes after the first pitch and fouls it off. Strike 1. How many hits for the Astros right now? 9. 9 hits. 10 for the Brewers. 0-1 is the count with 2 outs on Dubon. Here comes the pitch. A little low. Ball 1. Myers steals second base. They let him go. They don't even make a throw. Runner on second. Oh, Dubon hits the ball out into left field. That's probably going to be it. And it is. This game is over. Astros lose 5-1. That's going to do it. They lose the first of this 3-game series. Pretty miserable performance overall on both sides. I mean, when the Astros were down by 3, the problem really was the hitting. And then Sousa came in and gave up a couple more runs, and then the problem became twofold. They gave up too many runs and didn't get enough hits. Or rather, they didn't score enough runs. The Astros did have 9 hits, but they stranded a lot of guys on base. You could say another terrible performance, a stereotypical performance whenever the Astros lose. Not enough hits. For a while, it was a decent pitching performance until Sousa let it get out of hand. And the Astros lose 5-1. I'll give you a quick recap, and then I'm out of here. I don't want to spend too much time on it because, you know, we don't care too much about it whenever the Astros lose. But in the 3rd inning, Contreras singled, scoring Ortiz. Milwaukee up 1-0. Yelich homered to center field, scoring Contreras 3-0 Brewers. Top of the 6th, Walker grounded into a fielder's choice. The pitcher threw to second, tried to get the double play, but there was an error. Altuve scored. It was the only run that the Astros would get this entire game, 3-1. And the bottom of the 8th, Brewers started tacking on some insurance runs, but they wouldn't need them. They doubled the left field, scoring Yelich 4-1. Bauer singled to center, scoring Cameron 5-1. And that's where the game would end, 5-1. Astros on paper didn't look too much different than the Brewers. They actually had an almost equal amount of hits, 10 hits to 9. 1 error for the Brewers, but the Astros just could not bring in their runners. The Brewers left 15 on base. The Astros left 16 on base. But the difference is that the Brewers managed to bring in 5 runs. The Astros only got 1. And that's all I can do for today. I just want to say thank you for being here. Look forward to Game 2. Hopefully the Astros can pull out something a little better in the next couple of games. But I've got some more packing to do to get myself moved. Thank you all again. Love you all. And all I can say now is